Hi and welcome to another little video from Bethel Church, Northwich. My name is Tim, I'm the pastor here, and this little video is to give us a reflection on the issue of hope and thinking about what are you hoping in during this time. This is a combination of something I've been thinking about, but also it's been inspired by a dream that one of our friends at church called Simon had the other night. Before I kind of get into the dream, then there's a kind of three things that I suppose society in general we've been hoping in over these last few years. We've learnt to put our hope into money and economics, and that sense of if we have enough money, if we have enough jobs, then we will all be able to work things out and we can solve problems and make the world a better place. The second issue that we put our hope into is being science and technology, and that the game will come up with answers that solve it and solve the world's problems, and we'll know truth and knowledge through the world of science and technology. The third issue we've put our hope in has often been around humanity and politics, and kind of the issues and phrases we use are have faith in yourself, have faith in humanity. And we've put the hope in the world of politics being able to resolve our issues and work out different situations. And kind of through all of that, it's in these times, do they still stand? What I'd like to do now is just read out a snippet of the dream that Simon had the other night. And this is kind of his words of how this dream went. And it is of a man frantically, fearfully treading water in a vast expanse of ocean. Underneath his kicking legs are many fathoms of water. There is no sight of land or potential rescue. There's nothing to cling on to at all, knowing certain death is just moments away. Then comes into the scene the cross of Christ. Indeed, Christ himself on a floating wooden crucifix, half alive, severely bloodied and pierced, but with a perfectly serene and loving look in his eyes. I scramble to hold myself up out of the water from drowning and cling desperately to his body. This dream, kind of as we've reflected on it, reminds us of another story in the Bible, in the book of Matthew, and it's Matthew chapter 14. And this is the story where Jesus comes and walks on the water. And it says in the night the disciples were trying to row a boat across the lake, but it was a bit windy and stormy, and so they weren't getting very far. And then Jesus came walking on the water to them, and they were all terrified. And Peter, who was one of Jesus' disciples, he was in the boat at the time, and he said to Jesus, "If it's you, ask me to come." And Jesus says to him, "Come." And amazingly, Peter gets out of the boat and walks on the water to Jesus. But then he says he saw the wind and the waves and the water, and suddenly he begins to sink. And in that moment he cries out this very simple little phrase, "Jesus, save me." And Jesus reaches out his hand and takes him by the hand and takes him back into the boat. And the story finishes with this phrase, with all of them saying of Jesus, "Truly you are the Son of God." So what's this to do with hope? What's this and the dream to do with hope? Well, in this moment and these times where what many people have clung to and put a hope in, they're being shaken and we're realising they don't necessarily have the answers that we long for. That as we hope in either finance, that people are losing their jobs, people are losing their businesses. Where we're hoping in finance, we realise it doesn't matter how rich you are, it doesn't save you from getting ill, and it doesn't save you from being in hospital or even dying. In these moments where we've been hoping in the world of science and technology, again we realise, well, at the moment there isn't a cure, there isn't even the vaccine yet. And this virus has come, and there's these amazing and wonderful doctors and nurses doing their best to care for people, but they're not able to cure them and treat them. In this time, again, where we're putting our hope in humanity and in people, where we realise the ones that are most precious to us, we often can't even give them a hug. Where we can't, again, save our family from getting this virus. We can't stop them from getting ill. We are not able to protect and look after in the way that we want. And this faith in humanity of politicians taking their best guess, that we realise, again, humanity isn't able to solve this and help us and support us in the way that we hoped. And that kind of then points us back to this dream and to the moment in this particular Bible story where in the dream the language is, there is nothing else to hold on to. There's nothing to hold me up at all. no strength of mine, there's no goodness in me, there's no other person, there's no good deeds. This moment where Peter is starting to sink, and his only question, his only cry is, Jesus saves me. And that points us to this hope that I want us all to encourage us all to think about and reflect about at this time is Jesus. And maybe you've thought about him a lot, maybe you haven't. But to say there is someone who we can rely on at this time. The image in the dream was of Jesus, of this man on a cross who was beaten and broken. That points us to Easter, which is coming up, where we're reminded of the incredible story that God came to earth in human form, in Jesus. And Jesus died on the cross and was broken and beaten in the process of taking all our sin, taking the punishment for all our sin, for all the mistakes we've done, for all the things we've said where we've hurt people, all the things that have gone wrong. Jesus came to remove all of that sin and hurt and pain on himself. And in his place, he offers us forgiveness. He offers us his peace. He offers us his grace. He offers us hope that there is someone who is greater than these circumstances. There is someone who is greater than our finance, who's greater than another human, who's greater than all the science and technology. But there is someone we can hold on to at this time, who you can hope in, whose love never fails, whose grace is free. It isn't dependent on how good you are, or how clever you are, or how kind you've been or haven't been. It's an incredible, free, gracious offer that says, here, have some hope, have forgiveness. And so I want to encourage you in this time that you can turn to someone who is just a prayer away. And that person is Jesus. And as you put your hope in Jesus and have true hope that doesn't fade, doesn't wash away, doesn't disappoint, as you hope in Jesus, then may you come to discover, as they did in the Bible story, that Jesus truly is the Son of God. If you'd like to chat to someone about this or pray with someone, say please do send us a message and we will very gladly get back in touch with you and chat with you or pray with you. Again, join us on Sunday morning where we'll be live at 10:30 on the Bethel Church Northwich Facebook page, and do keep checking the site for other news and updates. May this give you a blessing today and encourage you, and have a great day. Many blessings.